So let us do this. We're going to start in a comfortable seat just to allow ourselves to be grounded. The energy astrologically, there's a lot of change happening in the world, and if you look at the astrology, you'll know why the change is happening. Sometimes I go back and forth whether astrology makes a difference or doesn't make a difference, but I'm at a point in life where I just realized that we have to look at it. It definitely makes a difference, and there is truth behind it. So it's really interesting to see with what is happening in the world, what is happening in our own lives personally, and how the astrology, how the planets and the stars, one are like personal planets, ones that are closest to us, and then the outer planets, as well as planets that are further out from us, which I like to call the 5D planets, that are bringing in new energies. Plus, we're influenced by these asteroids that are moving through on these different planes. It's interesting, like all the planets, our personal planets or inner planets, move at the same sort of on the same line, but then the asteroids tend to move at these different orbits. And so if you look at it, eventually, if you look at all the lines together, it makes this like a beautiful, like sacred geometry. It's pretty interesting to see all of that, what's happening. But that's also part of our beingness and why we are here. So why we are here on our mat today is to find our stillness, to open the body and to open the mind, and release our energy, to allow our energy to flow effortlessly through us so we can find easiness in life. So the idea that I was thinking about today is smile, learning how to smile. So that's part of our yoga practice today, is we're going to learn how to smile. And some of us, a lot of people wearing masks, so it's hard to see a person smile on their lips because we're wearing a mask. So we need to smile with our lips too, because that's good for our jaw. It actually parts our back teeth, but learn to smile with our eyes too. So this will be our practice. Learn to smile with our whole face, our whole body. And in Qigong, they talk about, or Chinese medicine, this inner smile, this energy that comes from within. And sometimes when life is seemingly distracting or distorted or delusional, it's hard for us to sometimes find that smile. So I like this idea of finding a memory of maybe it's a joke or maybe it was a funny time in life. It doesn't matter how old you were or when it was or who you were with, but there was a time definitely in life where you remember something that, if you think about it, could be a silly moment that it brings this natural smile to your face, and it makes your cheeks like kind of pop up. And then when the cheeks pop up, the eyes kind of like have that little like this little like smile lines start to appear. Even the eyebrows sometimes like get a little like perky. So let us find our inner smile and then allow that inner smile to conjure a sweet smile on our lips and a beautiful smile in our eyes. So closing the eyes, and even with the eyes closed, we can still smile with the eyes. Turn the palms down on the knees, begin to find the breath, the breathing. And knowing that this yoga is medicine. This is medicine. I just want to say this is medicine. Knowing that this is the medicine for our soul. When we smile, that is just that, what does she say? A spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down. So the smile is that spoonful of sugar. So find inside of you a memory. Bring that memory to mind. A time in life that was joyful and joyous. Remembering to smile. From the inside out, let that percolate through your cellular body. Body's memory remembers that time. And every breath that we take, it's almost like washing through us anything that doesn't want us to smile, anything that's in our mind, in our field, that's energetically stuck to us, that's somebody else's energy, something else's energy. Our breath, we breathe in this beautiful light. And then we breathe it out. We let all of that other go. Human like do that for a bit. That's also good. We're going to breathe in and remember good times in our life. And then anything that's in our field that we don't need, we're just going to let it out. This is good for warming up the face, for smiling too. Breathing in. And then anything stuck to us, now just take a normal big smile in. And a normal big smile out. Find that stillness in this place. In this place, let us remember why we're here on this cushion today. This is the medicine for our soul. So in this day, in this moment, what is it that we need right now? That spoonful of sugar. What's that thing we need right now? And let it be simple. Let us not make things complex. The universe can respond way quicker to something that's super simple. So it's like, show me this. And there you'll see something show up in life. So what is it that you need right now that could make the smile be plastered on your face for the rest of the day, for the rest of this week, and the rest of this month, and the rest of this year? And remember, each time that you see your reflection in the mirror or the window, it's a reason to smile. It's a reason to remember this joyous moment in time. And we know as we smile to ourselves, our body responds with these feel-good hormones, which is healthy for us. Also makes us younger. Has a little bit of longevity to this essence of smiling. Take another big smile in. Full smile out into the world. Bring the hands down to the mat. Walk the fingertips away from each into chest. Stretch through the back of the neck. Move the head softly side to side. And start a little smile in the eyes and the face. Maybe make a little figure of 8 with the nose. Forward and back. Back and forward. Then inhale, reach the arms up towards the sky. Palms touch. Look at the hands. Smile towards the hands, and then exhale, hands come down into the place of the heart. Let the hands touch into the center of the sternum. Breathe in. Breathe out. Taking this moment just to set that intention. Anything that you need right now in this moment to allow that smile to smile bigger. Even it's just saying, I need quiet. Still a smile in your face. Release your fingers down to the earth. And then we're going to softly open our eyes. We're going to get started in a downward facing dog. So when you find yourself in your down dog, bend your knees. Make your feet a little bit wider apart from each other. And your hands can even be a little bit wider from each other too. Let your head dangle down as if it was a pendulum on a string. And make it feel easy. And micro bend your elbows out to the side. Keep the knees bent. You can turn your heels slightly out from the inside edge of your mat. And then again, hips are high in the sky. You can float your hips gently side to side if that feels good too. You can shake your head yes and no. And see what it needs. If it feels good to move the hips, move the hips. We're allowing all the smiling blood that we've been smiling into drip down into our brain. So our brain remembers that it's so effortless and easy to smile. Anytime that we think that we need something, it does just smile to ourselves. Press into your palm prints. So you're trying to press your hips up towards the sky. That's why keeping the knees bent helps that space. Let your navel sink into your lower spine. Find your groins, the fronts of your hips, and let that soften in. Again, crown of the head dangles down towards the mat like a pendulum on a string. 2 more deep breaths, wiggling the hips side to side if you're still doing that. And then slow the wiggle down, finding stillness. You can keep the knees still bent, yeah. See if you can create space between your ears and your shoulders by micro bending your elbows out towards the side. Take a full big breath in.
Out through the mouth, just blow the air out. Again, big inhale. Out through the mouth. I'm going to inhale, come forward to a high plank. Just moving slowly. Imagine that I dropped you into a big pot of honey. Shoulders going to come right over the wrists. Stay here and breathe. Then press the ground away from you. Bring your hips high towards the sky. And then heels to the mat to your downward facing dog. Again, inhale to a high plank. Moving slowly as if you dropped into a big barrel of molasses. Shoulders come right over the wrists. Breath in here. Breath out. Then press into your hands and your feet. Lift your hips high to the sky. Downward facing dog. We're going to do that 2 more times. We're going to float forward to a high plank. Again, moving very, very slowly through time. Take a breath here in high plank. Inhaling. Exhaling. And then as you inhale again, press into your hands and your feet. Lift your hips high. Downward facing dog. For 1 more time, we're going to float it high to a high plank. You're going to stay here. So breathing in. And breathing out. 1 more. Now slowly bring your weight forward and you're going to drop your hips down towards the ground. You can point your toes back so you're in a nice high cobra. Let your shoulders sink to your ears and then roll your shoulders back and press your hands into the mat. Lift your chin, your chest. Tuck your toes under and lift your hips high towards the sky. Downward facing dog. Take an inhale, float forward to a high plank. As you exhale, keep the toes tucked under, drop your hips towards the mat, lift your chin, your chest. Then press into your hands and your feet, lift your hips high towards the sky. Downward facing dog. We're going to do this a couple more times. We're going to float forward to a high plank. So we're just warming up the shoulders and the core, and then drop your hips, lift your chin, your chest, keep the toes tucked under, and then press into your hands and your feet, lift the hips high. Down dog. And heels to the mat. 2 more times, high plank. And drop the hips, lift the chest. Toes are still tucked under. And then press and lift high. Down dog. One last time, float. High plank. Drop the hips, lift the chest. Keep the toes tucked. And then lift high, down facing dog. Stay here and breathe. Arms may feel a little fatigued, and that's okay. 1 more deep breath. And slowly, you're going to come high to the balls of the feet and walk your feet towards your hands. Stay on the balls of the feet if you can. Imagine that you had high heels on. Like, I don't know what high heels feel like, but that's okay. Keep your heels lifted. Keep yourself high on the tips of your fingers. Come even higher on the tips of the fingers. You come into a halfway lift. Keep the heels lifted. Keep the heels lifted. Exhale, nose to knees. Squeeze your legs towards the midline. Again, inhale, come halfway lift. Tips of the fingers, shoulder blades towards the midline. Then again, exhale, fold in, forehead towards the knees. Heels are lifted, legs are working. Inhale, halfway lift. Tips of the fingers. Now heels to the mat. Take the hands behind the spine. You can bend the knees here. Interlace the fingers to the webbing. Remember which thumb is on top. Pull the hands away from your spine. First back toward your hips. And then slowly start to take them up and over your head. If it feels good, you can keep your knees bent. If you want to, you can straighten your legs. Whatever feels right. Let gravity pull the hands away from your back. Move your head gently side to side. Make sure that it's dangling like a pendulum. Then bend the knees. Bring the hands back towards your hips. Hands float down towards the ground next to your feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Again, exhale, fold in, hips to the... bend the knees, bring the thighs, or your chest to your thighs. Interlace the fingers all the way to the webbing. And then pull the hands away from your lower spine over your head. Either keep the knees bent or straighten the legs. And then you bring the hands back to the hips. You're going to bend the knees. Release the hands, the fingers to the mat. Inhale, come halfway up, straighten the legs. Exhale, fold in again. You're going to bend the knees, bring the chest to your thighs, take the hands behind the spine. Interlace them to the webbing, and then pull the hands away from your spine. You can straighten your legs if it feels good. Again, bend the knees. You bring the hips to the hands to the hips, hands to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Legs are straight this time. Exhale, hands to the hips. Softly bend the knees and inhale, come up. Straight spine. Inhale, reach the arms up towards the sky. Exhale, bend the elbows here, lift the chin and the chest. You're pulling the elbows towards your inner ribs here on the outside. Yeah. Inhale, reach up. Again, exhale, elbows towards your ribs. Lift the chin and the chest. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, elbows into your ribs. Now take the hands behind your opposite thumb on top. So remember which thumb is always going on top. Inhale, lift the chin and the chest. Exhale, fold forward. You can bend your knees, bring your chest to your thighs. As you fold forward, hips down to the ground. Then you can straighten the legs if it feels good. Hands are going to come away from your spine. Then bend the knees. Keep the knees bent as you lift your chest. As your hands come to your hips, release the hands to the sky. So an Utkatasana. Reach up. Then exhale again, fold forward. So if you're skiing, take the hands behind you. Interlace the fingers all to the webbing. Straighten the legs, hands over the head. And bend the knees, chest onto the thighs. The knees bent and then slowly lift the torso and hands to the sky. We're going to do that a couple of times. We're going to fold forward, bring the chest to your thighs, take the hands behind you, interlace opposite thumb, straighten the legs as you fold in, hands over the head. Now we start that journey back up, so bend the knees. You're going to keep the knees bent and release the hands to the sky, Utkatasana. 2 more, each time changing the webbing. Hands over the head. And bend the knees, lift the chest, float the hands to the sky, keep the knees bent. And last time, folding in, opposite thumb. Hands away from the spine, over the head. So release the hands to the mat. Bend the knees again, slowly roll up. Allow the weight of your head and your arms open the back of the heart. As the head floats up towards the sky, I'm going to look up. Palms going to touch. You're going to interlace the fingers, except the index finger. The index finger is straight, thumbs are parallel. Reach up. Exhale, side body stretch towards the right. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, opposite side. Inhale, reach up. Hook the thumbs, bend the elbows out to the side, lift the chin and the chest. Inhale, reach up, palms touch. Interlace the fingers. Side body stretch towards the left. Inhale, reach up. Exhale towards the right. Inhale, reach up, look up, release the hands. Take the hands behind the spine. Interlace the fingers to the webbing. Pull the knuckles down, lift the chin and chest. Then bend the knees, bring the chest to the thighs. Flip the hands away from your spine. Exhale, hands to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands flat, step to a high plank. Big breath in. Big breath out. We're going to do knees, chest, chin as we exhale to the mat. Ashtanga Namaskar. Then float forward into a cobra. Press your heart up towards the sky. Tuck the toes under, downward facing dog. Big inhale here. Big exhale. And inhale, right leg up towards the sky. Bend the knee out towards the side. And exhale, knee under the body so you can touch the left elbow. Reach it back up, bend that right knee. Open the hip towards the side. And again, exhale under the body so you can touch that left elbow. Reach it back up, bend the knee. This time again under the body, listen carefully. Bring your left heel down towards the mat. Bring your weight into your right arm. Extend this right leg out towards the left side. Fall in triangle. Left arm up towards the sky. Reach up. Try to bump your hips up and then take this left arm over the ear. Nice side body stretch. If it feels good, you can drop your bottom ear to your bottom shoulder. Take another deep breath. Then glide this left hand down towards the mat. Lift up your left heel, right leg straight up towards the sky. 3-legged down dog. Exhale, knee to nose so you can touch. Shoulders right over the wrists. Lift your head, step the foot lightly forward.
Back knee to the mat, right arm reaches up, and then back, chin away from the chest. A little twisting through the spine. If it feels good, you can bend the back knee, maybe grab the foot. Still early on the practice, maybe that doesn't feel good. You're just reaching up and back. Bring the right arm on the inside of the right leg. Tuck the back toes under and lift the back heel off the mat. And then bring that left heel in. So we're going to come to Skandasana. I'll turn so you can see me from the side or from the front. Stay here and breathe. This right heel can either be flat or it can be risen. Whatever you need. If you can't go low down, you can always lift your hips here too. We just stay here. Whatever it is, we can take a little twist. We can lift the left arm up and back. Chin away from the chest. If it feels good, you can take the left arm behind you. Find the inside of that right thigh. 2 more big breaths. Both hands flat to the mat on the inside of this right foot. Step back, downward facing dog. Inhale to a high plank. Then exhale, knees, chest, chin down towards the mat. Then flow forward into a cobra. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Big breath in. Full deep breath out. Inhale, left leg up towards the sky. Open the hip towards the side. Then exhale, knee under the body so you can touch that right elbow. Reach it back up, bend that left knee. Open the hip. Exhale, under the body so you can touch and twist. Reach back up. Last time, under the body, touch and twist. Make your left hand flat, bring your right heel flat. Right arm up towards the sky, extend this left leg, flex the foot, fall in triangle. Take this right arm over the ear, side body stretch. Breathe here. Breathe out, and then glide this right hand down towards the mat. Lift up your right heel, and left leg straight up towards the sky. Exhale, knee to nose, shoulders right over the wrist. Dome your upper spine, open that space. Step this foot lightly forward. Back knee down towards the mat. Right hand stays where it is. Left arm reaches up, twisting through here. You reach that left arm back. Smile on your face, because this is one of the best poses in the book. If it feels good, bend the back knee, maybe grab the foot. If that doesn't feel good, don't do it. And then smile to yourself because you listen to your body. Big inhale. Big exhale. Release the foot if you haven't. Left hand on the inside of this left leg. Lift up the back knee. And we're going to come onto that right heel, so Skandasana. Again, you can sink your hips down towards the mat. You can also keep your hips up. You can also keep this right heel up. Whatever it is that you need. Hands can be at the place of the heart. Or you can take a twist where your right arm reaches up and back. Big inhale. And big exhale. Make sure there's a smile on your lips because we need to smile more. And hand down towards the mat. Lift up your back heel, hands flat, step to a down dog. Inhale to a high plank. Then exhale, knees, chest, chin to the mat. Then glide forward into a cobra, lifting your heart, smiling. Tucking the toes, downward facing dog. Bring your feet so they're a little bit wider than your hips. Bring your left hand to the center line of your mat. Pop up onto the right fingertips, drop your head, and take this right arm under the body so you can find the outside of your left leg, your left ankle, your left knee, your left thigh, whatever it is. You want your crown of your head to dangle down towards the ground. And bring your weight equal into both feet. And breathe. If you want, you can look under the left armpit. Make sure your neck is long. The weight of your head dangles down. Big inhale. Big exhale. Now replace the hands. This time you're going to place the right hand in the center of the mat. Left hand reaches under the body. Find some space that's accessible to hold onto on that right side.
Crown of the head down towards the mat. Feet are equal on the earth. Big inhale. Big exhale. Release that left hand to the front edge of the mat. Hands are shoulder distance apart. Inhale to a high plank. Then just keep your toes tucked under. Bring your hips to the ground so that floating upward facing dog. Then lift the hips high towards the sky, down dog. Inhale, right leg up. Open the hip towards the side. Exhale, see if you can touch this right shoulder, right elbow. Touch. Reach it back up. Open the hip towards the side. Now under the body, so you can touch that left. Maybe above the elbow. Reach it back up. The knee to nose, so you can touch. Step that foot lightly forward. Back knee down towards the mat. Hands onto this front knee. Use your hands to lift the chin and the chest. We stay here and breathe. There's a pulling of this right hip back, left hip forward. Take the arms up towards the sky. Interlace the fingers, except the index finger. Reach up and back. Up and back. And up and back. And then bend the elbows out towards the side. Keep the fingers interlaced. And then lean back. Big breath in. Big breath out. It's a great place to smile. Now we're going to take this left elbow towards the right knee. It doesn't have to touch. And then come back. So we're just doing this little leg twist. It's also a little abdominal crunch, right? Crunching in. And out. And in. And back. One more. When you come to neutral, reach your hands back up towards the sky. Look up. And take the hands behind you. Interlace them all the way to the webbing. Pull the knuckles down towards the ground between your feet. Maybe you can extend that index finger, touch the ground. Chin away from the chest. Big breath in. Big breath out. Release the hands towards the sky. And hands on the inside of this front leg. Lift up that back knee. And again, we're going to come into Skandasana onto this right side. If you want, you can take a twist. The right arm can reach back, or left arm can reach back. Maybe the hands behind you. Maybe finds the inside of your opposite thigh. We'll take another full inhale here. Full exhale. The hands behind the spine and reach it back up. Now on the inside of your right foot, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale to a high plank. Keep the toes tucked under, drop the hips, lift the chest. That floating upward facing dog. Then downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg up. Open the hip towards the side, you bend the knee. And then exhale that knee on the outside of this left elbow, touch. Reach back up, open the hip towards the side. And then under the body, touch the opposite side. Reach back up. The knee to nose, round your upper spine. Lift your head, step the foot lightly forward. Back knee to the mat. Find your hands on your front knee, the chin and the chest. Now float the hands up towards the sky and interlace the fingers all the way to the webbing. Reach up here. Remember, you can reach your shoulders to your ears and back. Shoulders to ears and back. One more. And bend the elbows out towards the side. Make a little nest with your fingers. Place the head back into your palms. Stay here and breathe. Now we're going to bring this right elbow towards the left knee. Twist. Imagine you do a little sit up here. And twist. And twist. One more. Twist. Chin lifts, hands to the sky, look up. Take the hands behind you, interlace the fingers, make sure the opposite thumb is on top. Pull the knuckles down between your legs, maybe you can touch the ground, maybe you can't, it doesn't matter. Just smile. Whichever is right, it's perfectly right. One more big breath. Release the hands up towards the sky, look up. Then hands on the inside of the left foot, lift up the back knee. Roll onto your right heel, Skandasana. Again, your left heel can be down or the left heel can be lifted. You can lift up that right arm
You can also take that hand behind you. Find that opposite thigh. Turn away from the chest. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more. The hands behind you, reach it back up. Hand on the inside of the front foot. Roll onto the ball of the right foot and then step the left leg back. High plank. Keep the toes tucked under. Drop the hips, lift the chin and the chest. Lift the hips downward facing dog. Straight away, inhale, right leg up. Exhale, knee to nose, so you can touch. Step that foot lightly forward, back knee to the mat. Right arm reaches up and then reach it back. Maybe we bend the back knee this time. If we didn't do it before, see what it feels like. If it doesn't feel right, don't do it. You can always place that right hand on that right knee and twist through the spine. If you want to, bend the back knee, grab the foot on the outer edge, and then simply press the foot back into your hand. Find a stretch through the front of your shoulder. Inhale here. Exhale here. 2 more. 1 more. Release that. And then bring your hand on the inside of this right foot. Lift up the back knee and then glide onto that left heel. So Skandasana on the right side. You're going to go to Skandasana on the left side. So straightening out the right leg. Flex. And then towards that right side. Hands on the inside of this front leg. Step back, high plank. Keep the toes tucked under, drop the hips to the ground, lift the chin to the chest, then lift the hips downward facing dog. Breathe in here, and breathe out through the mouth. Give a big breath in, out through the mouth. Let's lift up the left leg high towards the sky. Exhale, knee to nose, see if we can touch. Lift your head, step this foot lightly forward. Back knee comes down towards the mat. Extend this left arm up and back. Look back. Now bend the back knee. If it feels good, place the foot into the hand. Press the foot back. Turn away from the chest. Nice big stretch. It's a great place to smile. Especially smiling with the eyes. It works really well. You see when you smile, your teeth part. So at the same time we're opening the arms, we're opening the hips. And in order to open the hips, we need the jaw to be relaxed. Take another big breath here. Press, 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 lift the chin and the chest. Then release the foot, bring the hand on the inside of the front foot. Find the back toes, tuck them under, and glide yourself onto that right heel, Skandasana. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now we need to go to the back edge of your mat, onto that right knee, bend, Skandasana. Back to the front edge of the mat. Square your shoulders to the front edge, hands flat, step to a high plank. And slowly roll over the toes. Find yourself in a high cobra with the toes pointed back. Stay here and breathe. Bring your big toes to touch. Bring your hips to your heels. Arms can be out in front of you. Nose down towards the mat. Just taking a moment here to find a little bit of stillness. A little bit of breath. Walk the hands towards the right side of the mat. With that left hip sink down. Big inhale. Big exhale. Walk the hands to the opposite side of the mat. Take 2 breaths here on this side. Big inhale. A big exhale. 1 more. Walk the right hands to the center line of the mat. Inhale, come up to your tabletop. Tuck your toes under and then float your knees off the mat about 1 inch. Stay here and breathe. Then press into your hands and your feet. Lift your hips. Downward facing dog. Shake out the head. Left and right. And inhale, right leg up towards the sky. Exhale, knee to nose so you can touch. And step this right foot forward between the hands. Keep the back knee lifted. Hands on either side of your front foot. Now if you need blocks or something, or a book or can of beans, place it under your hands. We're going to inhale, we're going to straighten the front leg. back heel is a little lifted. Then we're going to exhale, we're going to bend the knee. We can even fold the forehead towards our knee. So we can round the upper spine and the back of the neck. And then we're going to inhale. We're going to straighten the front leg. We're going to look just out in front of our toes. And then we're going to exhale. We're going to bend into the knee. We're going to curl the chin to the chest. Do that a couple more times. We're going to inhale, straighten. Exhale, curl in. One more inhale, straighten. Listen carefully. You can softly bend your front knee, just walk your hands further forward. Bring your weight forward into this front foot, lifting up the left leg. Come onto the tips of the fingers. Make sure the tips of the fingers under your shoulders. We're going to inhale, lift up onto the ball of the right foot, and then heel to the mat. So we're going to inhale to the ball of the right foot, and then heel to the mat. 2 more. 1 more. Listen carefully. Bend into your front knee. Float that left foot to the back edge of the mat. Walk yourself to the back of the mat and come into Skandasana on the left side. Straightening out the right hand and right arm reaches up and behind the spine. Stay here and breathe. Big smile on the lips because it feels really good. Breathe in. And breathe out. If the hands behind there, release it to the center line of your mat. Come to the front of your mat, Skandasana, onto that right knee. And turn to the front edge of your mat, your hands flat. Step to a downward facing dog. And inhale to a high plank. This time roll over the tops of the feet. Find yourself in a high cobra. Lifting your heart. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. So the slower we move, the more strength that we can create. More mindfulness in our practice. Instead of moving too quickly, because we do that already in the world. So let us slow down our pace to real time. Crown of the head melts to the mat. Soften your face. Take another deep breath. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. Inhale that left leg high towards the sky. Exhale, knee to nose, so you can round your spine, crunch in. Lift your head. Step this left foot forward. Both hands on either side of your front leg. Now again, if you need blocks or books or something, place your fingertips on them. You're going to inhale here. Then we exhale. And then inhale, make sure you're straight on the spine, keep the spine elevated and long. And then we're going to exhale, we're going to bend into the front knee and curl the forehead towards the knee. And then we're going to inhale, we're going to straighten our spine, straighten the front legs, scissor the hips. Then again, exhale, you're going to curl in, forehead towards the knee. Do that a couple times. Inhale, straighten, lifting. Exhale, curling in, bending the knee. 2 more. 1 more. Lift your head this time. You can softly bend the knee, walk your hands further forward, and lift up the back leg. You're floating on the tips of the fingers. We're going to inhale, lift that left heel high, and then exhale the heel down. So a calf pump. Inhale high. This is good for your brain. Heel down. High on the ball. Heel down. 1 more time. Heel down, and we bend into the front knee and float this right leg to the back edge of the mat. We're going to come to Skandasana onto this right side. If it feels good, take this left arm up, even behind your spine, whatever feels right. Just stay here and breathe. Big smile on the lips because it feels really good. 2 more breaths. 1 more. Walk your fingertips to the front edge of the mat, lifting up the right ball of your foot and balancing on that heel. And both hands on the inside of your front foot, hands flat, step back, downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet, left and right. Then inhale to the balls of the feet. Exhale, shoulders right over the wrists. And float forward, bring the hips down and point the feet back, lifting your heart. Big breath in here. Big breath out. Bring your big toes to touch. Bend the knees out to the side. Hips to the heels. Find yourself in a wide knee child's pose. Walk your hands towards the left side of the mat. See if you can pin your right hip towards your right heel. Stay here. And hands to the opposite side of the mat. Okay. Under the arm if that feels good. Breathe in. Breathe out. Walk the hands to the center line of the mat. Inhale, come into a tabletop position. Bring your knees right under your hips. Press into the ground and your feet and float your knees about 1 inch off the mat. Move forward and back. It's a little bit of core work here. Forward and back. Keep your knees bent. And then lift the hips high to the sky, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg high towards the sky. Exhale, knee to nose if you can touch. Step the foot lightly forward. Back heel to the mat. Inhale, right arm up and back. So if you can bend the back knee, grab the foot. Press the foot back, turn away from the chest. And release that foot. Both hands on the inside of your front foot. Lift up the back knee. Come into Skandasana on this right side. Take your arms out at a T. You're going to take your right arm under your left. First give yourself a hug here. If a hug works, you stay there, or you take your hands into Garudasana arms. Stay here. Now, everyone's at a different level. You can either keep your hands here and float to the back edge of the mat. If you need to undo your hands, you can undo your hands. And then walk yourself to the back edge of the mat. And stay at the back edge of the mat, Skandasana. Another big breath in. Float to the front edge of the mat. So if you can keep your hands like they are, bring the back knee down, so the left knee down. Find yourself in Anjalinasana with the eagle arms. Turn away from the chest. Big breath in. Big breath out. Now there's a little bit of a challenge here. Keep the back toes tucked under so you can lift the back knee off the mat. Find yourself in a low lunge. Now start to straighten your front leg. Keep your hands in the Garudasana. Wobbling, that's all good. Straighten the front leg. Now bend back into the front knee. Bring the back knee all the way down. Lift the elbows up. Garudasana arms. Release the hands to the sky. Exhale, hands down around the front foot. Simply step back, downward facing dog. And then inhale, come forward to a high plank. We're going to roll over the tops of the feet. We bring our knees down to lift the chin and the chest. Tuck the toes under, downward facing dog. Big breath in. Big breath out. Inhale that left leg high towards the sky. Exhale, knee to nose if you can touch. Step the foot lightly forward. Back knee to the mat. Reach that left arm up and back. Big breath in here. Big breath out. Bring that left arm on the inside. We're going to lift up the back knee. We're going to find Skandasana on this left side. Arms at a T. This time left arm under right. Maybe you give yourself a hug. You can stay here and just do this whole movement with yourself, giving yourself a hug. Or see if you can bring your arms into Skandasana. Skandasana, Garudasana arms. Eagle wrap. Now you can stay here for a moment. If you need to release your hands to walk to the back of the mat, you can do so. But you're on the back of the mat, maybe you take your arms again in that eagle wrap. Stay here. If you want to challenge yourself, maybe you move back to the front edge of your mat. Bring that back knee down towards the mat. Find yourself in an Anjane. Keep your back toes tucked under. And see if you can lift the back knee off the mat. Now the challenge is if we can straighten the front leg and bring those elbows to the front knee. You'll wobble. That's good. Bring that back knee softly down towards the mat, lifting the elbows high towards the sky. Garudasana arms. Exhale, release the arms towards the sky. Hands down around the front foot. Step back, downward facing dog. Full breath in. Full breath out. Inhale to a high plank. Exhale, lower the hips down towards the mat, lifting the chin and the chest. Big toes touch, knees out apart. Find yourself in a child's pose. Sway the upper body side to side. Then look forward on your mat. You're going to slither forward across the ground like a snake. Bring your feet together. Hands flat on the mat. Inhale, lift your chin and your chest. Find yourself in a cobra. Exhale, come all the way down. Again, we're going to press into the hands. We're going to lift ourselves up into a nice high cobra. Thighs are on the floor. Exhale down. We're going to do that 2 more times, like a little push-up. The thighs are on the floor. Press. Coming a little bit higher. Curling the head back. 1 more time. This time stay up and breathe. Maybe let's take 5 big, deep breaths in here together. Let your navel move with your breath. Fully in. Fully out. 1 more. 2 more. From here, tuck your toes under, find yourself downward facing dog.
Big breath in. Big breath out. Right leg high towards the sky. Exhale, knee to nose if you can touch. And walk that foot forward, back knee to the mat. Right arm reaches up and back. See if you can find that left foot, bend the knee. Press the foot back into your hand, chin away from the chest. Release the foot. Come into Skandasana on that right side. See if you can take that eagle wrap again. Either you can give yourself a hug. Right arm comes under left. Either Garudasana or arms. Stay here. If you want to see if you can move across, you can lift your hips higher to move across. It doesn't have to be low. Come to that left knee. And then you can lift the hips high. Come towards the right knee. Bring that left knee down. Come into the underneath. The elbows lifted. Tuck the back toes under, lift the back knee off the mat. Slowly straighten into this front leg. Garudasana. Bring the back knee softly down. Lift the elbows. Stay here and breathe. Reach arms high towards the sky. Take the hands behind you. Interlace the fingers all the way to the belly. Pull the knuckles down. Chin away from the chest. Opening the front of the throat. Reach the hands back up. Then hands on the inside of the front foot, heel to this front foot a little bit over towards the right. If you have a bolster, a blanket, you can place your elbows on it or stay up with straight arms. We're just going to bow in here for a moment, take a little rest. You can let your hips move in a gentle circle or sway them side to side. Whatever it feels like that you need. Big breath in. Big breath out. Soften your jaw, soften your eyes. And find your hands down the ground. Whatever you are leaning on, move it out the way. Hands flat, step back, downward facing dog. Breathe in here. Breathe out to the mouth. Inhale to a high plank. Exhale, roll over the toes, lift the chin and the chest. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, knee to nose if you can touch. Step the foot lightly forward, back knee down towards the mat. Extend the left arm up towards the sky and back. And so you can bend the back knee, grab the foot, chin away from the chest. Breathe in. Release the foot, bring your left hand on the inside of the left foot, lift up the back knee, Skandasana to the front of the mat. Again, option here, hug yourself. This time left arm is under right or Garudasana arms. Stay here. Now you can either release your hands or you can try this by bringing your hips higher to move to the back of the mat. Take 2 breaths at the back of the mat. Skandasana on that right knee. Come back to the front. Skandasana on the left knee.
And then bring that right knee down. Anjali Nasta, the Garudasana arms. Turn away from the chest. Tuck the back toes under, lift the back knee off the mat. And slowly start to straighten out this front knee. Whatever it is that you feel that you need. And slowly make the journey back, bringing the right knee down, lifting the elbows, Anjali Nasta. Release the hands to the sky. Then exhale, hands behind you, interlace the fingers to the webbing, pull the knuckles down, turn away from the chest, your arms, your shoulders should be nice and warm. Release the hands back up. Hands to the mat. Step back, downward facing dog. Inhale to high plank. Exhale all the way down towards the mat, onto your tummy. We're going to take this right hand out at a T, turn the palm up towards the sky. Left hand is flat on the mat, elbow towards the sky. Bend your knees. Then drop the feet towards the right. Roll onto the right side by pressing into your left hand. You can use that left hand to help you stay stable. If this feels good, stay there. You can take this left hand behind you. Maybe you can find your right fingers and you can clasp the fingers. If that doesn't feel good, don't do that. Likely looking up towards the sky. Breathing. Big inhale. Big exhale. 2 more. 1 more. The fingertips are interlaced, release them, bring the left palm print down onto the mat. Roll back onto your tummy. Keep your right hand where it is. Just bend the left elbow out to the side and rest your right temple down on the back of your left hand. Your right arm is still exactly where it was before. Just allow your body to reset itself. Now we're going to take this right hand flat on the mat. Take the left palm out, palm faces up towards the sky. The shoulder and the hand should be at the same height. You're going to bend your knees. Drop your feet towards the left. Use that right hand to roll the body onto the left side. Now each side may feel a little bit different. So if you want to investigate, I'm like, I don't know where my hand is over here. So I'm just going to keep my fingertips on the ground. I'm looking up towards the sky. So I'm keeping this elevation through my spine. I'm not collapsing down. I'm trying to create space instead of just shrinking into myself. Even though Mother Earth has this gravitational pull that's hugging us to her belly, we're still moving upwards, ascending towards the light. Instead of us getting so heavy and stodgy, let us find elevation for all parts of our day. And then remember to smile, because that brings more lightness. Take another deep breath here. Now the fingertips are behind you, release them, bring that right hand down to the mat. You're going to slowly roll back onto your tummy. Leave your left hand exactly where it is. Bend this right elbow. Place a hand flat on the mat and rest your left temple on the back of the hand. Finding your breath in your body. Just breathing in and breathing out. 2 more. 1 more. You're going to lift your head. Come onto your forearms now. So your elbows are right under your shoulders. Wiggle it so your feet are together. You have to turn your chest here, and then press into your hands and float your elbows off the mat. It's a nice, like they call it seal pose, but it's like a cobra. Then imagine that you can pull your hands towards your tummy, and you're pulling your tummy towards your hands. So there's a little bit of a traction happening. Big inhale, and big exhale. Slowly lower the elbows down towards the mat. You want to bring this left elbow slightly forward. Then the right arm's going to thread underneath of it, palm up towards the mat. Then take this left hand towards the right side. You can just kind of like walk it over. And then if it feels good, turn that left palm up. And then your chin's going to come right where your elbows or your upper arms are crossing. And then that's how much weight you want. If you keep your head elevated, it's less weight. If you drop your head a little, it's a little bit more weight. So find exactly what your shoulders need. Don't go too deep. Remember to relax here. Wiggle your fingers. Breathe in. And breathe out. We'll do maybe 3 more deep breaths. Slow your breath down. And 1 more big breath. And you're going to take this left palm again to heel toe this hand all the way across towards the left side again. Press into the elbow, release that right arm. So stay here in the Sphinx position. Pulling the elbows towards your rib cage, lift the chin, the chest. Now we're going to bring this right elbow slightly forward and then thread this left arm underneath here. Palm up. Walk it as far as it can go. And then you take this right hand and you heel toe it across. It looks kind of strange. And then turn the right palm up. Then again, how much weight you rest down is up to you. You can keep your head elevated. It's less weight. Both shoulders are pointing down towards the ground. Both hip bones should be flat on the mat. You can wiggle your toes and wiggle your bottom. Make sure there's no tension in any other part of your body. Imagine in your mind where your shoulders feel tight. Just breathe into that place. With your mind's voice, or inner voice, in a compassionate voice, you're going to say, relax. It's okay. I'm just stretching. I'm just breathing. So open up the spaces that feel constricted and tight. We're stretching our small and large intestines. We're stretching that, the line of the triple warmer. We're allowing ourselves to let go of the things that are no longer needed. Take another deep breath here. Now you're going to take this right hand, you're going to heel toe it all the way across towards the right side. Press into that elbow, wiggle out that left arm. Find yourself in a Sphinx position, chin away from the chest. Then exhale, come all the way down. Take the hands behind you. Interlace the fingers all the way to the webbing. Pull the knuckles down towards your feet. Look down towards the ground. Everything's still on the mat. Just look down towards the ground. You're curling your chin to your chest. A nice stretch to the back of the neck. Breathe in. Breathe out. And press into the tops of the feet. You're going to lift your chin on your chest. Look to the point of your nose. Nasagra Drishti. Long, slow, deep breathing. So the knuckles pull down to your feet. You're finding your back muscles to lift yourself up. Your bottom is relaxed. Big inhale. Big exhale. Release the hands next to the chest. Press into your hands. Lift your chest. It's a nice high cobra. Bring the big toes to touch. Bring your hips towards your heels. Child's pose. And slowly walk the hands all the way up towards your body, curling the chin to the chest. We're going to find our weight onto one hip. We're going to bring the legs out in front of us, but we're going to open up the legs wide, so Upavishta Konasana. We can always sit on something, so if you tighten your lower back, you can find a blanket. Maybe the bolster's a little bit too high. You want something that's maybe an inch, maximum inch and a half, so that you can start to bring your pelvic ball into a forward tilting space. We take our arms out of the T. We're going to give ourselves a hug. The right arm's going to come under the left. We're going to find our shoulder blades, those wings on your spine. So if you can hook your thumbs around it. And then curl your elbows into your navel. Curl your spine so your pelvic ball tilts backwards. Stay here. And we're going to inhale, lift ourselves up. And maybe we keep the hands where they are, or maybe we bring them in Garudasana arms. And then we need to fold into ourselves. Maybe the elbows come onto a block or a bolster. Maybe we can press the hands into the mat. Stay here and breathe. Now, if none of this works for you, you can always release your hands too. So see what's right for you. Think about your shoulder blades coming towards each other. Back onto the spine. 2 more big breaths. And one more. And use your upper body strength to lift you up. Reach the arms up towards the sky. Take the hands behind you, interlace the fingers to the webbing, and then bow forward, lifting the chin. Bring the chin to your chest and lifting your hands away from your spine. Just bowing in. Just allowing gravity to pull the body towards the earth. And inhale, come all the way up, hands at a T. This time left arm under right. Give yourself that nice hug. And then curl your spine. You're trying to tilt your pelvic ball backwards. Bring your elbows in towards your navel. Breathe here. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhale, come to neutral. You can stay with your hands where they are or take those Garudasana arms. And then we're going to bring the pelvic ball forward. We're going to fold forward. If you've got a bolster under your elbows, that may work. If your elbows come down, so you can press the hands away from your face. Breathe here. And think about your shoulder blades coming towards each other. You should be feeling, your shoulders should be feeling pretty elastic by now. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, come up. Inhale, reach the arms up towards the sky. Exhale, hands behind you, opposite thumb on top. Reach the hands back, lift your chin, and then fold forward again. Just bowing into yourself. It may feel weird because you're not using your hands, but use gravity, pulling the hands away from your spine to draw you further back. Keep folding forward. Release your hands to the outer part of your legs. Maybe grab onto your ankles, your feet. Stay here and breathe. Big inhale. Big exhale. And hands to the mat. Slowly walk yourself all the way up. Find the outer creases of your knees. You'll bring your feet or legs together. Then bend your knees, bring your hips towards your heels, hands up towards the sky, and you're going to roll down towards the mat. Rolling all the way down. As the shoulders come down, pull the knees into the chest, rocking side to side. And bring the feet down towards the mat. Hands right next to the heels, press into the soles of the feet. And then lift your hips up, and at the same time you lift your hips, you're going to take your arms over your head towards the floor behind you. And then as you exhale, you bring your hands down next to your hips again as you lower your hips down towards the mat. So see if you can time the lifting of the hips and the hands. So when the hips reach its highest point, the hands are on the floor behind you. And then as you exhale and the hands float down, it's the same timing as the hips come down to the mat. The hands are going to meet all at the same time. And every part of breath has movement. And every part of movement has breath. So it's everything that we need right now in this moment. You're just breathing and moving. Very restorative for your nervous system. So the slower you can move through that big pot of honey or molasses. Next time the hips come down towards the mat, let them stay there. Let your hands rest next to the hips. Take a breath in. Breath out. Then pull the knees to the chest. Give them a nice squeeze into your chest. Arms out at a T. Inhale. Exhale, you're going to bring your knees, you're going to round your spine. You're going to bring your knees towards your right elbow. You're going to really round your spine as much as possible. And then if the knees come down towards the ground, it's good, or you can bring a cushion under your knees too, or bolster. But you want to keep the spine nice and round as possible. If it feels good, look over the left shoulder. You can turn the left palm up. You're finding your breath from that lowest part of the spine. Breathing in. Breathing out. Full body breath. Inhaling. Exhaling. 2 more. And 1 more big breath.
Inhale, find your core, bring the knees through center, and then towards the opposite side. If you have your cushion, you can place your cushion on the opposite side too. Again, you want to curl your knees up towards your left elbow so your spine is round. Once the feet are on the cushion, the knees on the cushion, or on the ground, look over your right arm and look towards the thumb. Close your eyes. You should feel stretch through your neck here too. Again, these are restorative. This is just rounding on the spine, just allowing ourselves to come back into that nested space. It's calming, it's soothing, it's allowing, it's relaxing. And the whole time we're smiling, we feel that smile energy. It's throughout our system, throughout our energy field. 2 more big breaths. One more. Let it all go. Pull the knees back into the chest. Pull the knees right into your chest, rocking side to side, massaging your kidneys and your lower spine. And bring the soles of the feet down towards the mat. Hands right next to your hips. Palms down, and then slide one heel out straight. And then the next. Take the arms up towards the sky and over your head. And reach your body as long as possible. You can lift your heels a little and wiggle your legs out even longer. Make your body nice and long. You can lift your head into the chest a little. Make the neck nice and long. Once you find all that length, bring the hands straight up towards the sky. Reach the shoulders away from the mat. You're trying to reach up to grab the sun. And then bring the shoulder blades down as you float the hands down to the sides of the mat, about 45 degrees away from the sides of the body, all the way to the mat. Make sure nothing's touching that's going to irritate you. Then as you inhale, you're going to squeeze your feet in your hands. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And then you're going to exhale, just stick out your tongue. Again, inhale, squeeze your feet, your hands, your legs, your face. And then as you exhale, stick out your tongue. Again, squeeze feet and hands and legs and face and chest and tummy. Squeeze and your bottom. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. More, 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 more. And then let it all go. And I imagine that you've just been dropped into the perfect lotus that's floating on a pond. And the pond is so still. It's the gentlest breeze coming through the leaves and the trees. And you floating, 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 resting, resting, resting. There's nothing else that's needed. Just this moment here, this moment in time of quiet stillness. Stilling yourself. Relaxing yourself. Allowing yourself. Today, I release all unimportant things. I will not be affected by a world that exalts the meaningless. I claim my mind for the light of truth, making it impenetrable to assault by the unimportant. I do not allow my time today to waste me or be wasted. I pray for the mental and emotional discipline to notice and to act on only what is important. May I overlook the rest. Dear God, please send your angels to guard my mind and keep at bay all meaningless thoughts. I devote this day to meaningful things and serve them with all my heart.
So very slowly, discovering that the body is still breathing. And that simple idea of the body breathing, being breathed, brings a smile to your face. This acknowledging that your life force is always there, within you and around you, without you even having to think about it. Feel your chest rise with every inhale. Feel your chest fall as you exhale. And allowing yourself to softly reawaken your awareness, your mind, your body to the space. As the mind begins to awaken, find the tips of the toes and the fingers, the nose. Wiggle the toes, wiggle the fingers, wiggle the nose. Take some deeper breaths as you start to move the hands and the wrists, and the feet and the ankles. Maybe start to rock the head side to side. Take the arms over the head. Yeah, you can just stretch the body as long as possible. If it feels good, stick out your tongue and squeeze your eyeballs with your eyelids. Big inhale. Full exhale. And slowly roll to one side, curling the knees to the chest, resting the body on the side. Allow yourself simply to be. Being in this space. And take this moment here to reflect on your intention. And knowing inside that your intention is already done, the universe has delivered. Allow that to be a big smile on your face and feel how that smile comes from the inside out. And any time today that you need to remember how to smile, bring to mind a memory, a pleasurable memory that makes you giggle and makes you smile. Find the hands on the earth, press into the earth. You're going to lift the body back up, still with a smile on the lips. Find a comfortable seat with our hands at the place of our heart, Atma Anjali. Wherever you are in your breath cycle, press out all your breath. Let us inhale as one. Let us exhale all together, creating this place of absolute gratitude and allowing our smile to be that symbol of gratitude that we have for life and all things in it, in our play, in our day. And let this smile move out into the world, into other people's faces and into other people's eyes, so each and all may be smiling. Float your thumbs to the place of your third eye, honoring that space of your inner guidance, your intuitions. And the light within me bows the infinite light to you. Namaste. Thank you so much for being here. I'll pull us a card to see what the energy is for today. It's a little angel deck. So let's see what the angels have for us in store. So all we need is a smile on our face to bring in the energy that we need. Again, we're in this summertime, summer season. It's time for celebration. It's time for seeing the sun within us, the light within us, fixating, transfixing our mind upon that internal light, that eternal light. Let's take another deep breath in together. Blow the breath out to all things that are unimportant. An Archangel Michael, and it says protection, and it's like a little womb. The colors are blue. You probably can't see it so well from there. But he is holding you, and there's all these stars in front of you, and it's like you're being realigned. There's also this activation through the thymus area. There's like this gold flame, if you will. So we can tap on our thymus too. She's looking kind of sad, so maybe he's coming into our life to give us this protection and this understanding and this feeling like it's all going to be okay. The stars are aligning in this planet the planet, in the cosmos. The stars are aligning within us. And all we need to do is bring our attention to our own inner flame, especially this one here in the thymus. So the thing that we could do, this protection, is tap it. So if we are moving out into the world and we feel that we need an extra film of protection, if you will, is to call Archangel Michael in to protect us, to wrap his wings around us. And we can always invoke Archangel Michael at any time in our life, but it seems like as we go through this distortion in life, while we're finding our way, we get realigned with ourselves, is to call him in for this protection. And they say that Archangel Michael comes from the south. So we are, in the south part of, southwest, right? But like right in the south part of the United States. So we're in that place of like the south is coyote too. South is fire, it's warm in the deserts. So we're in this place of saying, thank you, Archangel Michael, for bringing your wings and for protecting us. So that's from my heart to yours. May you always be blessed. Namaste.